So the topic that I want to talk about today has been coming up so much and more and more and more, and it might be unpopular. It has to do with modern spirituality reclaiming sex and sexuality in a way that I'm finding is under this umbrella of freedom, but really very exploitative. Like, what is it about these modern Tantra practices where we take the feminine in the form of a female body and we overtly sexualize her, and then we blast her over social media, having these very intense kind of like sexual experiences in real time that we become watchers of, we become voyeurs of that. It's problematic, and it's a problematic tether that goes back really far. Now, we tend to say things like Tantra is inclusive of the feminine. Tantra worships the feminine. In some lineages of Tantra, it's considered even higher, even more spiritually advanced to be born in the body of a woman, because when you're born in the sexed body of a woman, somehow you already understand something. This is very political. Now, it's true that historically speaking, a lot of tantric traditions, especially the left-leaning traditions, the goddess worshiping traditions like Trika, the Kaula, the Krama, that would have been inclusive of female practitioners. I, as a Westerner, could have joined the practice. And that feels really good to me. That feels really inclusive. Like, these are traditions that did welcome people no matter what their social standing was, no matter what their sex gender was. But I think we take it a lot farther and romanticize the past, because when we really read the accounts of what female women would have been experiencing and what consort practice really looked like, it wasn't very pretty for the women. It was kind of like, because women carried this imprint of what's called the power of consciousness, the Shakti. Now, being in a female sexed body, if we start romanticizing that, she's in a female sexed body, so she has more access to Shakti. Well, guess who's gonna now exploit that female body? And that's a lot of times what consort practice was, maybe even is, where very high level male teachers, adepts, masters, if they were sick, if they were unwell, physically sick, unwell, afraid because this illness is potentially life-threatening, they might call in a consort to be almost like a Shakti battery, like a sex battery. And that's what these women a lot of times were doing. That was the role of these women. And as a consort, these women really were treated sometimes very poorly, as you might imagine. And so I think it's really important to understand that what we're doing right now by having these like sexual breakthrough practices and then putting the word Tantra onto it, now, there's an essence there where we need to reclaim our sexuality. We need to reclaim the masculine and the feminine. We need to celebrate the physical body. We need to celebrate the sexual experience. But do we really want to be doing that by exploiting the female sex again? Or is that just another part of history, just like the modern version of that exploitation that's just happening in a different form, because now we have social media, now we have Instagram and Facebook, and it's somehow okay to show a woman orgasming on screen. It feels to me like the same exact thing that you read accounts of happening 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 300 years ago, of like women being in this role of being manipulated or in service to some gaze, some project, some goal that has a lot less to do with liberation. Liberation being life and embodiment and curiosity. Liberation, seeing that you are the goddess. Your eyes are her eyes. Your skin is her skin. Seeing that life is pouring through you as all of that. It feels less like that, and it feels a lot more like power and the manipulation of power. Because are these videos about pure expression, or are they trying to sell something? I'm telling you, they're trying to sell something.